Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video about exam stress because exams are coming up for a lot of people my age, 16, 15, 16, whatever. But firstly I want to apologise for the window if there's any background noise because my window is open because it's very hot in my room. Sometimes exams can leave you feeling overwhelmed and unable to cope. The good news is the stress can be managed and help is available. The pressure to revise and do well in exams, whether it's from your parents or your teachers, can be very stressful. You might be worried you are going to fail or that you won't get the grades you need for the job you want. You might be worried you are going to fail or that you won't get the grades you need for the job or course you want. Anxiety can sometimes make you feel tired, upset, worried, shaky, lightheaded, frustrated, or feeling like you might go crazy. It can also present itself as a panic attack or you feel like you might be sick. It can seem scary at first to talk about stress or anxiety, as you might feel like nobody else is feeling like this or would understand. Bottling up stress and trying to deal with it on your own can make the stress even worse. If you are feeling stressed or anxious about exams, talking about it with someone you trust can be the next step. Talking about how you are feeling can reduce the pressure and help you feel more in control. I am so happy that I started talking about how stressed out I am and how nervous I get and stuff, because now I can get the help that I need and the support that I need to get through these exams. So don't feel like you're the only one that's freaking out about these exams, because ask any person in your year how they feel about their exams, and if they say that they're fine about it and they're feeling confident, then they're either extremely lucky or they are lying, because I don't know anyone that's feeling fine about these exams. I know that everyone is stressed out about them because they're not fun, and it's not really the thought of the actual exam itself that scares me. It's the thought of like the revision and not doing enough of it, because doing revision is extremely hard and there is literally like zero motivation to do it at all, which can make it like 10 times harder. Like, I've been doing revision on and off all day and now that's just making me really nervous because it is 7:30 and I haven't finished revision, so that doesn't help. And my exam is at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, so help. Exam stress starts when you feel you can't cope with your revision, sitting exams, or pressure from your school or family. If you feel stressed out about exams, you aren't alone in feeling like this. Lots of other young people experience anxiety at exam time. Like, I've been getting a lot of pressure from like teachers and stuff that like I've got really high predicted grades. They're like A's and B's and I'm working at like C's and D's, so that isn't reassuring. That scares me even more. But just don't think about like what they want, think about what you want, because your teachers always want the best. They always want you to get like the A's and the A stars, but if you are working towards getting a C or a B, then go for it. Focus on your own goal, not your teacher's goals, because to be honest, your teachers mean nothing now. They were there to teach you and now it's your turn to take over. There is nothing else they can do. It's all in your power. Like, they can help you revise and talk to you about like stress and stuff, but apart from that, you're in control. Like, yeah, don't worry about them. Like, my physics teacher wants me to get an A. He's like, oh, I expect you to get an A. And I'm like, I expect myself to get a B. So, sorry. If I'm working towards a B, then if I don't get an A, then that's fine by me. I'm not expecting to get an A. When we feel anxious, we often give ourselves negative messages like, I can't do this, I'm useless, and I'm going to fail. It can be difficult, but try and replace these with encouraging thoughts such as, this is just anxiety, it can't harm me, and relax, concentrate, it's going to be okay. Picturing how you would like things to go can help you feel more positive. For example, trying to imagine yourself turning up to an exam feeling confident and relaxed. You turn over your paper, write down what you know, and come away knowing you tried your best on the day. There's no point stressing after you've done the exam either, because the exam is done and there is nothing else that you can do about it. So just don't worry about it and just make sure that you've done the best that you can do, and then smooth sailing from there. It can sometimes feel like your whole future depends on what grades you get. First of all, try not to panic. Even if you don't get the results you need or expect, you still have options and can help with any decisions you have to make. Remember, exams are important, but they are not the only key to a successful future. Lots of people achieve success in life without doing well in school exams. I will leave a link below in the description to a video that Jonathan Jolie did. He is a YouTuber, vlogger guy, and he failed all of his GCSE exams, but like, he has a really good career. He's hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, so that's basically just proven that you don't need exams and grades to get everywhere in life. Like, yeah, if you want to do well, then you may have to get better grades. Like, it's not the be all and end all. Like, you have other options. Like, you can retake your exams. I know that some colleges let you retake them. Like, with my college course, I need to get 5 C grades to get in. But if I don't get 5 C grades, I can do a lower level course where I only need 5 D grades. So I know that even if I don't get enough grades, I can still do the course that I want to do. It will just take longer because I will be doing a lower level. But once I've done that lower level, my GCSEs don't mean anything, really. And then, like, as long as I do that lower level, I can get to the higher level that I would originally want to do, but fingers crossed that won't happen. Positive thinking. There can be a lot of pressure on young people to do well in exams, which can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. You might have been predicted certain grades or put into a higher set and feel if you don't get the grades, you will let your parents or teachers down. My parents keep telling me that they will be proud no matter what grades I get, which is reassuring, and also if I don't get the grades that my teachers want, then screw them, because they're not going to be teaching me anymore and my grades don't really matter to them. Talking to your parents or teachers about how you feel could really help. They might not be aware of how their attitude towards your exam is putting pressure on you. So if they're constantly nagging you or going on about the exam and it's stressing you out, maybe just go and talk to them in private and be like, hey, I'm pretty stressed out right now. Like, you know, when I came back to school after Easter and all my teachers in every single lesson were saying, you've only got 2 weeks until your exams start, that was really stressing me out. So I went and told my favourite teacher, and he was like, just ignore them, just let it go over your head, just focus on how much time you have. Like, just make sure you're aware of that 2 weeks, but then don't like be like, oh my god, I only have 2 weeks. Just be like, yeah, I have 2 weeks. During exam time, it is easy to start comparing yourself with your friends, especially when it comes to revision and how well you do in exams. Some people in your class might be bragging about how easy they are finding it all, whilst you might be struggling. To be honest, other students in your year and what grades they get mean nothing. Like, just because they may get better grades than you doesn't affect whether you'll get into college or not, or get in sixth form. Like, if you get the grades that you need to get into college or sixth form, then their grades don't matter. Their grades won't affect your life whatsoever. Like, yeah, they might be more proud and brag about it, but just be like, well done, you did well, you've obviously put a lot of hard work and effort into it, but I have also come out with the grades that I expected and the grades I wanted, and I know how much hard work I put into it, and yeah. I might be struggling more than you might be finding it easier, but your grades don't matter to me. That's all you need to say. Maybe not to them though. Just tell yourself that. Just don't compare yourself, because comparing yourself is literally the worst thing that you can do, ever. Not understanding something at first does not mean you are thick or stupid. Everyone learns in different ways and you have to find a way that suits you. Try and focus on your own work and not put yourself down. Also, if you're struggling, then go and talk to a teacher about it, because they can always give you extra help and tuition. Like with my chemistry, I was really struggling and I was talking to a fellow chemistry teacher about it, and he offered me one-to-one revision, and so I took it up. So yeah, I accepted that, and now I'm finding that I can go and talk to him, and Just be like, hey, I'm stuck on this part of chemistry, can you help me, can you explain it? Hey, I've revised this, could you give me some exam questions that I can do and then mark them for me? I've done a lot of them, and it's been really helpful because now I went from not knowing how to do it to doing enough practice and that it's stuck in my head. So that's why practice is very good. Like, revise it and then do some practice papers or practice questions, because that is literally like how it sticks in your brain, because then you know what the question is asking, because sometimes they can like word it in a weird way so that you like it confuses you. But then if you do exam questions from past papers, you kind of know how they're going to be worded, and then it won't seem as crazy in the actual test. Some people are more academic than others, but this doesn't mean your future won't be successful. There are lots of people that don't do well in exams who go on to be successful in life. Nobody is good at everything, but everybody is good at something. There is nothing wrong with being worried about the actual exam. This is very normal. The more prepared we are, the more confident we feel in being able to cope. Homework and revision can be really stressful. It must seem like you'll never come to the end of it all. It can be especially difficult if you're worried and you don't understand it, or you don't know what you are supposed to do. Talk to your teacher and ask them to explain it to you. You don't have to ask in front of everyone else. You can talk to your teacher privately. They should be able to help you understand it better and find a way of working that suits you. Also, talking to a teacher privately is better because they can give you more direct help. And in a class, you might feel intimidated that everyone's going to be like, oh my god, I understand this is the easiest thing in the world, and then you're like there struggling. Like, it doesn't matter if you're struggling, like, everyone struggles, it's fine. Like, just don't worry about whatever people think. Coping with exam stress and keeping calm before a test. Make sure you take regular breaks from revising and do some exercise. Go to bed at a reasonable time and try and get some sleep. Getting a good night's sleep will help you much more than trying to revise all night. Staying up all night to revise will just make you really tired the next day. I would recommend that you stop revision at least an hour or two before you go to bed. So the cut-off time for me doing revision is 9 o'clock, even though I might finish at like 8 or half 8 or something like that. I will make sure that I do not do any work past 9 o'clock, and I will go to bed at around 10, half 10, so then I can get a decent night's sleep, get up the next morning and do a full good 4 or 5 hours of revision the next day with breaks and stuff in between. Also, a good idea that I've been taught is to do 20 minutes of revision with a 5-minute break, and then do this for about an hour or two, and then have a long 1-hour break, and then change the subject and do 20 minutes, 5-minute break for another couple of hours on a different subject. Like, don't do 20 minutes of one subject, then do a 5-minute break, and then 20 minutes of another subject. Like, choose 2 or 3 subjects to do in one day and just focus on them. Otherwise, everything will just mix into one, and it will just get really confusing. Try to think positively. Even if you don't feel like it, a positive attitude will help you during your revision. Taking some water into the test with you can keep you hydrated and you'll concentrate better. What else might help me to revise? You could also try other revision tips, such as writing down or summarising important facts on a piece of paper and asking someone to test you if you can remember it. The more you test yourself, the easier it gets to remember something. Spreading out your revision over time. This can help you remember what you've learned, as your brain won't be overloaded. Making a revision timetable. This is a good way to make yourself revise certain topics at certain times. Studying in a room without a TV so you can't get distracted. Turning your phone off while you revise. Writing something you want to remember on a post-it note and sticking it on your bedroom door. This way you will see it every time you leave a room. You could try a few different ways of revising and see what works best for you. So if you are going through exam stress at the moment, then just calm down and don't stress too much about it, and go and talk to someone about it, because literally talking to someone about it has been the best thing that I've ever done, and it's just so reassuring. And also, like, teachers have done it before. It might have been a long time ago and things might have been completely different then, but they still went through it. So just relax, breathe. Meditation is also really good. I love meditating. So to all of you people doing GCSEs or A-levels or any exams at the moment, I wish you the best of luck, and no matter what happens, you are not a failure. And I'm sure that nothing bad will happen. Just keep positive. You will be amazing. Good luck and goodbye. It can be difficult, but trying and replace, but okay. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, compose yourself, Neve. You've got it. Oh my god, no. Don't say that. Whew. Okay.